So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm a huge fan of Subaru and a huge fan of the Impreza. And this is the 2024 Subaru Impreza 2.5 RS. Let's go ahead and take a look and I'll show you around. Why? So with all that being said, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. As you can see, the Impreza is now hatchback only. And the 2.5 RS gives you a really nice interior. So let's actually start here first. Getting inside, it feels familiar. I've driven a lot of Crosstreks and Imprezas of the last generation, and this feels almost the same, but it's mainly quality of life improvements. So you now get an 11.6-inch touchscreen display as an option. The base touchscreen is two 7-inch screens, one here and one here, and the bottom one shows you your climate control. See if it lets me turn the screens on. No, it doesn't. But you get this huge screen now, which is great. The old one, you only had a 7-inch screen, went right here, and then you had all your physical climate controls. I'll put up a picture of what that one looked like. But it's definitely nice to have a new big screen. And this bottom row here is dedicated to your climate control, which is fantastic. This is the shifter for the Lineartronic CVT. Heated seats standard on the Sport and Up. 120 volt outlet. Electronic parking brake, 2 cup holders, a nice big center console, the very nice cloth seats that I like, and they did remove the 4-way headrest, and now they only go up and down. They don't ratchet anymore, which is unfortunate. Down here you have a glove box, which is pretty big. It's damped, not lined with felt. Get some nice soft touch plastics. Here's a little hard touch, and then here it's hard, and then it gets soft again. You have just full plastic door handle on the RS, which I thought was kind of weird. I thought these would have been trimmed in chrome. Down here you get your typical mirror controls, window switches, your child lockout, a nice soft leather padded here, visors with the old Toyota slide out visors. You do get a sunroof. Most Subarus do come with sunroofs now, and overall it's a really nice interior. This is the gauge cluster, which is almost identical to the old one, just a new font type that looks really, really cool. Down here you have the steering wheel, full of buttons because they now come with eyesight, and so you have your controls here for your media screen in the middle, and also to control the infotainment system. And then these are your buttons for your eyesight, so your adaptive cruise control, lane departure alert, lane tracing assist with steering assist, road sign assist, auto steer, headlights. It basically follows the direction that the wheel's in. You also get rear cross traffic alert as well. All this safety stuff standard, and you also get blind spot monitoring with a little Subaru badge down there in the corner. And you have some paddle shifters here for the Lineartronic CVT, which means we'll move on to the engine. Moving on to the engine, we have here the 2-liter FB20D horizontally opposed flat 4, making 152 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. This is the same carryover engine as before. That's the base engine. So the one that's actually in this one is the 2.5-liter FB25D engine, which is almost the same as the 2-liter, except there's a bit bigger displacement, and it makes 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Made it to the TR580 CVT Lineartronic with 8 simulated gears, and hooked up to symmetrical all-wheel drive, which gives you 50-50 all-wheel drive all the time, and it can send power 60-40 or 40-60 or to whatever wheel needs it, but in your regular driving scenarios it's always 50-50 power split. So these things handle like they're on rails. These cars drive fantastic. Last one I drove was a 2022 20i Premium, and it handled fantastic. So super symmetrical all-wheel drive really is a good addition. Standard on every model, of course. See, in the front is a new adaptive steering headlights. The new front grille is now frameless. Some fog lights at the bottom, you get those on the Sport. Being the 25 RS, You do get some black accents here. You get an RS badge here. You get these really nice 18 or 19-inch wheels. Let's see what size they are. These are 18-inch wheels. They look quite nice. See how they resculpted it? I actually almost preferred how it looked last year, but this model definitely grew on me, and it looks a lot more modern. So you get LED taillights in the back, but they're not full LEDs. You still have an incandescent turn signal, incandescent reverse light. It does slope a little more here than last year's model, but you do get just a little bit more cargo room. There's a little button here between these two stars. You open it up, it's a very light hatch, and you get a huge amount of trunk space, and you still get a spare tire, which is nice. If you're wondering, the middle seat belt does come out from the side, and there is a little holder for it there. So if you're installing child seats, keep that in mind, because these are very family-friendly vehicles, but that might get in the way. Down here you have an all-weather mat, and below that you have the foam divider with all your tools for a temporary spare tire. You also get a nice cover. So this has a lot of cargo space. Closest thing I can compare it to is my little Fiat, but this thing has a lot more space than that. This is actually a car I was looking at for quite some time. Not this one, but the generation before. And I still am, because these Subaru cars are just fantastic. A very light hatch. The rear wiper there, integrated rear spoiler in black, which looks awesome. Shark fin antenna at the top. You have one exhaust tip over there on that side. Nice reflectors in the bumper. But overall, this car I think looks fantastic. Let's check out the back seat. Checking out the back seat of the new Impreza. This seat is in a good enough position that I would feel comfortable driving in. And getting in the back seat, the Impreza has always had best in class legroom and headroom. And I think that's still the case here. This seat is really far back, and I still have plenty of room for days. And above my head, I have about 4 or 5 inches of headroom left, which is fantastic. You do now get a full down center armrest for the cup holders, only on the top trims. Obviously the base model won't have that. And the red interior carries on to the back. You do have a drivetrain hump here, obviously because it's symmetrical all-wheel drive, but if I go sit in the middle, it's definitely comfortable, and I could fit 2 adults behind me or next to me. You also get USB-A and USB-C ports now, so the new models have USB-C. And here is what the front looks like. So you do have a corner window here for good for visibility. These cars are easy to drive, they are safe, and they're extremely reliable. These 2.5 liters and 2 liters can easily go 1,000,000 miles, and so can the CVT. These are fantastic vehicles. But I hope you enjoyed this look at the 2023 Los Angeles Auto Show of the Impreza. I'm also going to do another cross-track as well, and a few other Subaru models, so I'll add that on to my Subaru playlist. Hope you enjoy.